Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to review the Injective Protocol. So this is a top-down view of the project. You can see that some things are neutral and some things are red. The red things, it's a pretty high market cap and that it's going to have a lot of strong competition in the future. Regarding the things that are neutral, you're not in early regarding social media, and the team's track record, or the record, is more of a they have to kind of prove themselves kind of record, meaning they haven't done inventions, or they haven't a record of any major companies in their past, like creating huge companies in the past. It might be due to them being young or whatever. And so let's get into it. What problem or market does this project currently solve? So basically, it is going for the derivatives market. It is in the Cosmos ecosystem using Tendermint's technology, which is becoming a common consensus mechanism now. So a lot of people are using this Tendermint specifically in the Cosmos derivatives market, or in Cosmos related projects. They're using the Tendermint mechanism for their consensus, which is basically how the security is created in a blockchain. So basically what it's going for is decentralized trading, using decentralized order books, which is 0x based, trade execution coordinator with no front running. So this is probably one of the biggest elements of an exchange from this point forward, is no one's going to want to use an exchange unless if it has front running. So it's good that this technology, this is a DEX, decentralized exchange, that will get rid of front running. On Ethereum, that's a major problem. Investors lose a lot of money on Ethereum because of that. And also, it'll have a bi-directional bridge, so it connects to Ethereum virtual machine, so it has smart contracts. This is another trust computer in a sense, which means it'll have more programmable logic on top of it, in addition to being a derivatives platform. It'll have instant finality, more of that Tendermint consensus, high throughput, inter-blockchain communication, Ethereum virtual machine, and it also connects to Polkadot's Moonbeam project and decentralized front-end architecture, so anyone can create that front end and allow for an app to tap into the exchange, the liquidity that is provided at the exchange. They have decentralized perpetual swaps, futures contracts so basically leverage. So basically this thing is offering decentralized leverage, which is a powerful thing that people will want to use, especially, and it is chain agnostic. So that is something you want to find in a project like this as well. Now, I do think that they will find customers in the future because, blockchain is going to grow tremendously. Like, we're not even close to the adoption of blockchain. We're still super early. So I am bullish on it in that sense. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right into the project. So regarding future increase in demand for the token, I expect that to happen. Future market excitement from price momentum, likely. I think that is the case. One of the things that makes me think that it might get excitement in the future is its major upcoming events, such as them launching the derivatives very soon and the governance within the next 3 months, because they're using the Canary chain right now, which is how they're proving their chain is safe. And then it'll go to the canonical chain, which is the governance and the unrestricted trading and the derivatives, and all of that will happen within the next 3 months, maybe sooner, and that will lead to price action. Now, regarding things that don't contribute to price, is that social media, it's middle of the line with that, so you're not super early regarding social media. As far as their awareness. So as far as inflation goes, the inflation rate is 7% inflation, going to 2% eventually, so that is good. Token supply distribution is an irrelevant factor because they have fees that burn tokens, which is one of my favorite things to see in a project, is that it has that mechanism. So in a sense, it will naturally float to the movement of price to time value of money, which is a P/E ratio. So whatever growth they get, their token will be entitled to it, so they have a good token model. That's what you want to see. You want to see a project that is tied to whatever happens on the platform. So if the platform is successful or if the ecosystem is successful, the token will be there participating in that platform's success. So that this one does have that structure for its token model, and in fact it has a really good one because it burns 60% of its trading fees and revenues that it will gather. So money needed to move price up decreases. I think that'll be the case. Tokens on the sell side to decrease. I think that is the case. Now market cap is 1.2 billion in a highly competitive field. So that is a red thing in my opinion. Also, the price is slightly outperformed the average by 2x. It is slightly performed the average. So that is a risk factor as well. So it's 30x up from when it launched. So, you know, there are people sitting on some decent profits. So that is, you know, but this is more neutral because it's not one of the extreme off the charts performers that we've seen. Like, it's not in the middle of getting a massive amount of hype. You know, it's got very low volume on its DEX right now, but it's only been live for about a month in that Canary network. So that is something to consider as well. So, but it is now, it has a live niche, which is a good thing to contribute to something growing. Many of the blockchains seem to be able to perform without having anything live. Those are more risky in my opinion. This one is one that actually has something live. So that is good. Tokens per person to go down. I expect that the case. Regarding the amount of money in this thing, it's about the average. 25,000 per user, which is kind of the norm. But that is something to consider as the tokens are released from dilution. Now, regarding the tokens used for services or governance, the tokens are used for governance, fee value capture, collateral, exchange incentives, etc. And it has that proof of stake security, which is Tendermint. So the token is an integral part of the ecosystem. This one has some of the best token economics I've seen, as far as being aligned to if they capture market share. So it's what market is it going for? It's going for a decentralized exchange trust computer, basically going for that derivatives market, which is a $400 trillion market, a very massive market, even if they do have a lot of competition, because the derivatives market is going to be massive, and there's going to be like derivatives on derivatives, and we're going to see instruments come into play that we've never seen before, because blockchain is highly innovative, and those kind of things could be in this ecosystem, and I'm sure they're going to capture some kind of market share in the future. Okay, so the token's governance is good. It basically will be able to control anything, which means that it's true ownership. It is true governance direction of the platform. It'll do proposals, vote, upgrades, token listings, anything basically, according to the CEO. So high value people will want to hold this, including the team. Strategic partners and backers, they have CMS, Pantera, Binance, Mark Cuban, and Sandeep Nawal. So they have some named individuals there and institutions. Some of the partners are Orion, Lithium. So Orion does liquidity aggregates, so they'll have liquidity on their exchange, and it'll be able to port in all this liquidity systems. Lithium, pre-IPO derivatives. So you'll be able to access IPOs, which is great. Up-only exchange and Moonbeam integration into the Polkadot ecosystem. I think that is wise as well. So that is good. Developer experience. Like it'll have the Tendermint Cosmos SDK, so they will have libraries to support developers building up this ecosystem. User experience will be easy because it is part of the Cosmos ecosystem. They are not first movers, so they do not have that advantage, and therefore I think the network effect might actually be a little bit difficult, but I do think the Cosmos ecosystem will have users, so this may be wrong, but I just put it as neutral as far as them getting network effect because they're not an early arriver. So as far as the team, Eric Chen, venture partner in Innovating Capital, Albert Chan, the chief technical officer, software development from Amazon. He has a master's in computer science. from Stanford, and Pantera and Binance backing of these team members. I put the CEO score as neutral, 6.3, because he did produce a unicorn, but there's prior experience is kind of small, and that's why I put this as kind of neutral, because there's no previous billion-dollar businesses, there's no millions of customers, and there's no inventions in the background. So, but this project has a diluted market cap of $1 billion, so technically he has created a unicorn with this, and so that is part of his career record now, so that is good. Long-term vision and mission: creating a free decentralized financial network for everyone. Okay, so evidence that the team is trustworthy. Basically, they are vetted from those partners. They do have legitimate partners, and I know that when you have a legitimate partners, they vet you pretty significantly, and etc. Team retains control through token majority, so the team will likely hold these tokens because the tokens represent ownership of the platform, so they will likely remain in control of that in the future. And so the team has, as far as trustworthy characteristics from observing them directly in interviews, I could see that they keep their promises and they're straightforward. So that is good. Extreme determination. Now, this is what I was talking about with some of the risk. It's only a 2-year-old project, or about 3 years old. So it's a young project. And so young projects, you want to see that they're going to carry on with determination. I've seen projects that are 3 years old give up and not continue to add new services, to continue to add new features. So you want to see that they're going to have determination for years. A project really isn't proving that until they're at least 5 years, and then you could see that they're still going and that they're still striving and that they're determined. So that this project is young, and that is a risk factor. But then again, all of crypto is young, so that's always a general, that's one of those things that's just generally difficult. But some of my best successes have come from longer term. Developer motivation, I think they have, governance, and they also have funds from the ICO, from funds that they raise. High value upgrades are likely because of that, and the value of services to increase. And, they are completing a lot of their roadmap, and, things are going to go live within soon, the derivatives, which is their main service, so we'll see. Even though I said up here that their exchange might be low with activity, the only thing that people really like to use are those derivatives, like the leverage, etc. That's the stuff that's valuable. Just regular trading is available pretty much everywhere at this point. That is part of their services providing increasing, right? So as far as large business models that demand token to reflect their needs, I put it as a little bit of a higher on that metric, because it does have such a good token model with the burn mechanism. So people who invest in this will, if they are successful, the token should perform well theoretically, because the token is actually designed to capture whatever value they see. So I expect strong token model may attract business investors. As far as some of these other things out here that I didn't get to yet, moat, I think that for those that build, transfer of work is difficult, so they do have somewhat of a moat, but they have a lot of competition being in the DEX space. There's they're gonna have competition from everywhere, but the fact is it doesn't matter if they tie in to the liquidity. If they tie in all the liquidity, as the market moves up and down, they're at least going to get value from being a liquidity provider and tapping into the liquidity across networks. But what will make them valuable is if they can attract a lot of funds specifically on their platform. But it is in the Cosmos ecosystem exchange. But they're going to have a lot of competition, and that is a negative, in my opinion, for that. Even if they are some of the best or whatever, because competition for exchanges is extremely high, etc. So I think I covered everything. So final assessment. The pros: excellent token model to capture value through the network. So if they grow, the token should grow too, because they actually designed it to capture some of that wealth. and the token actually represents ownership and being part of the community. So the token is relevant for the ecosystem. Interoperability and chain agnostic. You always want to see that. That's a good thing for an investment, is that it's chain agnostic. That actually increases your chance of success. Permissionless approach with asset derivative access. You want to see that permissionless access. This is why we're in crypto, so we don't have to ask permission to do things. Extreme large market. Extremely large target market. Even if there's a lot of competition, it does have an extremely large target market. Okay, so what are the cons? Inexperienced founders, they don't have any, besides this project, they don't have like a big record to see how good they are at savvy business practices. Etc. Or inventions, or usually I want to see something that's like Alex Mashinsky, where he has huge inventions and he started he had started several billion-dollar companies. That's a great thing to see. You like to see those kind of history. The project is young, so you need to show resilience. Once again, it's like you want to see that the track record is going to prove the resilience. You want to see that they're going to prove that they are determined to keep adding value. So another con is intense competition from many different directions. They're going to have competition from every direction because they are a DEX, and there's just countless number of DEXs that are already launching just about everywhere. Okay, so those are the cons. All right, so that is my evaluation of the project. The next thing I'm going to do is for my patrons is my final assessment on whether or not I'm going to add it to my portfolio. Oh yes, and the final 3 check marks. Low market cap with accomplished CEO, I put no. Early to social media, no, but it does have a live niche. So yes, the next thing I'm going to do is my patrons, and if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I like to bring the most in-depth, most unbiased analysis of projects out there so that you can make the wise decisions from this entertainment channel that is not investment advice. All right, bye.